Oh, look. New gameplay footage has been released for Pokemon Go. I gotta check this out. Oh, look at that. That's a nice map. That's really cool. Okay. Oh, wow, an even bigger map. That is incredible. Wow, that is... Oh, it's a Squirtle. Wait a minute. Wait, where's his level at? Where's his, where's his level at? Where is his level? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Arc Fort episode. Well, as usual, big news in the Pokemon Go community. There has been some huge developments as of this morning when Niantic posted gameplay screenshots on their Twitter feed. And I have a few of these snapshots to analyze, look at, see what we predict. But there's one thing that's really bothering me. Like, I have bragged about how close my predictions have been in the past, and they have been incredibly accurate up to now. Now, I have seen something in the gameplay footage which disturbed me greatly. If you look here, you'll see that there's a Squirtle, and we can analyze this particular picture in a moment. But do you notice one thing that's missing? That's right. He has no level. Now, I get that we haven't seen any of the battle footage, and maybe you'll be able to raise Pokemon to battle at a certain level, and that's based on their CP level. I don't know. I don't understand it all yet, because we just don't have all of the information. But for goodness sakes, we're trying to catch a Pokemon, and we don't even know what level it is. That goes against the trailer, that goes against the original gameplay, that goes against everything we know about Pokemon. It's going to change completely the way people come to catching Pokemon, because, my goodness, why would you even catch a Pokemon if you didn't know what level it was? This has by far been the biggest upset of the week. With the exception of Michigan State losing to Middle Tennessee. Come on, man, my bracket was counting on that. I thought I was getting pretty close, but no, they had to run and throw a kink in everything by getting rid of levels in the gameplay footage. Now, like I said, I don't know what the future holds. Maybe there are levels and we just hadn't seen them yet in the gameplay footage, but darn it, Niantic, you're making me really nervous right now. Nerves aside, however, let's go ahead and analyze the gameplay footage that we have and see what maybe I did or did not get right. So here we have our friend Paula. Paula is the new trainer on the block at level 1 with absolutely no experience at all. We see a couple things more clearly than we did in the leaked footage, which is that those little gray areas down there, that's just Pokemon that are nearby, and you can't really make them out, but it kind of makes sense from what we saw in the trailer, because if you look in the trailer, there's a few spots where when trainers are walking around looking for Pokemon, you can only see a shadowy outline of the Pokemon that are nearby. So this actually makes a lot of sense. So she's approaching this Squirtle, and I guess you can see there's this pink ring around her, and I'm going to compare that to the action area that's within Ingress, mostly because it will give a great limiter to battling, trading, catching Pokemon, collecting gear. It's perfect for all of that. So we'll just say that that pink area around it is the action gear, and the action area, and that the trainer has to find something and have it fit within that area in order to interact with it, whether that be to catch it, to, heal your Pokemon at a Pokemon Center, to interact with the gym, or collect crystals, things like that. So that's probably what that is, and definitely the nearby Pokemon thing, that's a neat little feature. I really like that. Okay, let's go on to the next picture. And here we have our old friend Lin96 with lots of XP and with a lot more visible Pokemon nearby, an Ivysaur, Squirtle, and a Cubone. So Lin is kind of a boss at level 9, compared to trainer level 1 back there with Paula. So apparently this particular player is going around the map. Seems to be a very similar area to where we saw Paula. But they have a few Pokemon within range that they could find or get to. Now there's these two little things. There's this like bluish purple thing, and there's this red thing. And I could try to speculate on what a bluish-purple thing is, and what a red thing is, whether maybe the red thing is a Pokemon Center, and the blue thing is a fort. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what any of those would be, because obviously I haven't played the game. But you can definitely see that they're there, and that they're definitely important markers. Now, there's this little blue Pokeball figure that seems to appear around the map, especially close to the trainer. And I'm wondering what significance that has, if it's like a beacon point, or if it's some particular, maybe it is a fort, I don't know, we don't know, no way to tell. The one thing, though, that I do want to speculate on is those little cubes all around the map, and I mean they are everywhere. They're in the other picture too, but you can see them a little better here. These cubes scattered on the maps almost definitely have something to do with CP or crystals. You know, they're cube-shaped, bluish, translucent figures that just screams crystals to me. But, you know, like I said, that's all speculation at this point. Let's go on to some things that are not speculation and are super cool to talk about. Oh, look, it's an adorable little Squirtle in the middle of a field with almost no information about him other than the fact that his name is Squirtle and he has a CP level of 268. I assume that means he has 268 crystal points, whatever that means. You know what he doesn't have? A level or any other kind of information about him at all. So that kind of does throw a couple of kinks in things, because when you're, you know, going up against a Pokemon you want to catch, you want to figure out what it's capable of. And not having any real levels doesn't really help you understand like what moves that Pokemon might know, what they might not know, how much farther they need to evolve, things like that. But we do have CP levels, so we may be able to speculate a couple things about that. But if you look, you'll notice that in the bottom right, there's a backpack, and just above that backpack, there's what looks to be like an image or the symbol for a picture that you would usually find on like a desktop, crossed out. But in the next shot, the image is not crossed out, and now you can see what is definitely a sidewalk and what looks to be like an actual park-ish area. There's actually grass there, and it looks like they're actually using the camera on the smartphone to incorporate the Squirtle into augmented reality. Now, we saw a little bit of that in the gameplay footage from the leaked gameplay footage. But this is kind of cool because now we see that we actually can toggle the augmented reality portion of it. We can actually toggle whether or not we see them on the camera and the smartphone or not. And that is really cool that they would give us an option, because there are going to be some phones that either they have bad cameras, they don't have cameras, or using the camera is going to take too much of the battery life or the computing power of the phone. So this is actually a really wonderful option for people who really want to get immersed in it and see the Pokemon on their smartphone camera. That's really awesome. But for people who are going to be really serious about it, if we're being honest, they're not going to want to waste battery life and CPU trying to catch it in the augmented reality portion. But it is a really cool feature, and I know they worked really hard to incorporate it into the game. So kudos to you, Niantic. That's a really cool feature. A few weeks ago, I put a picture on Twitter, which I described as being what I imagined the gameplay looking like for Pokemon Go. So let's see how close I was in this particular photo to guessing the accurate gameplay of Pokemon Go. Here is the image in all of its grandeur and glory. This is what I think, based on my knowledge from the trailers and from what little information we had, what the gameplay would look like, and I feel like I got pretty close. Now, understand, I do not in any way want to try to convince you that this picture is of actual gameplay footage. Obviously, it's not. I'm telling you on the front end, it's not. This is my own creation. This is not somebody else's. This is just my idea of what the gameplay looks like. You look in the top, very top, just below, you know, where the time and all the apps are featured, you'll see that there's this little bar, and it's this little yellow bar that seems to be on some kind of meter. I had that as some kind of player experience level. Clearly, that happened, so check mark there. And obviously, there's some kind of player level. Also put that in there. I was right about that. All right. Now, this is where things get a little bit hairy. Well, we have the name of the Pokemon. Awesome. We have the name of the Pokemon. That was correct. But the problem is the level next to the Pokemon, incorrect. As far as catching wild Pokemon. HP levels, not there either. Uh, Location, or the if you see in the top right corner, I put planes as a basis for like what geographic location the player is in. That's not anywhere in the gameplay footage either. So I may have missed a couple of things, including Pokemon levels, but goodness, who could blame me? I mean, we were all expecting that, and that's a curveball. But kudos to you, Niantic, for keeping us on our feet and not letting us expect the expectable. Expected? Predictable? I don't know. Regardless, good job, Niantic. This gameplay footage looks fantastic, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it and play it myself. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a longer episode than usual, but I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you benefited from it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good night.